Hello, right, where am I today? Well, time of year first, we're entering winter. Well, we're getting towards midwinter, I suppose. So looking around me, all the leaves are a beautiful colour. Now that's one of the only benefits I can think of winter. There are others, obviously, but for me personally, I quite like the colours. But then obviously you have to dress up warm and get everything sort of triple layered and quadruple layered. But today, I'm just outside of a place called Bedlington in Northumberland. Now, not a lot of people know that unless they're from the area. I suppose it's quite famous for the Bedlington Terrier, which is their dog breed, which has become world famous. Although not a lot of people know of them. Even out and about in Scotland, I've only seen about 2 or 3. So they're not the biggest of breeds. Funny looking thing, they almost look like a lamb. They're very strange looking. I think they're originally bred for vermin hunting and things like that. That's probably why they've got that strange look in that coat. But there you go. That's the area I'm at. So I'm near the River Blyth. Now, rather than head northeast towards the coast, which I could do, I might do another time, but I want to head the opposite direction. So instead of up that way, I'm going to go this way. So I'm heading down southwest, if if I can get that right. Southwest along the river, although it does, like most ancient rivers, it turns and weaves. So I'm looking for, I'll probably not find it, you know me, but it's nice to get out. I'm looking for an ancient windmill, which I think I got the heads up for this one from Mr. Sooty or whatever the hell he's called on Instagram, because I now have, I now have a crappy Instagram account. So there it is there. That's the crappy Instagram account. If you want to see pictures of my dinner, me at the gym, no, I'm just joking. They're related to the walks that I do. So don't worry, it's not a load of rubbish like most of the stuff on there. It's awful. It's just close-ups of people's face at exactly the same angle. I don't want to see you. I want to see the world. It'll be like if I shot this and the entirety of this video was just me talking, it would be absolute rubbish. It's not about me. Obviously, I have to give you an intro to tell you where we are and things like that and show you a map. But show me some trees, show me where you live. That's what I want to see. And that's what that sort of account's about. Anyway, moving on. So like I say, it's winter. So, I mean, most people know this, but obviously in winter, I haven't got anything to, let's use this Avianyan bottle. So obviously there's the earth. And if you imagine the sun's here, the rays are coming on. And then this is the equator, obviously. And this is the North Pole and the South there. So what's happening is obviously as the earth obviously rotates like that, there's a wobble. It's all about the angle of the dangle, as they say. Although that does sometimes relate to how men dress on the left or the right. But I'm not going to go into that. I want to keep this nice. So here's the earth. Now, as well as this rotation, there's a wobble. In other words, a tilt. It either tilts the northern hemisphere towards the sun or away. So at the moment, where I live, it's tilting away, so less sunlight hits. So in other words, let's just make this simple. Less of the sun's energy hits here, so all of the plants die back. They drop the leaves off and say, I give up, I'll wait until the sun comes back. That's essentially what winter is. So it makes it tough for the animals. So anyway, enough waffling. Let's get on with this. You can tell it's winter here. If you look at all these brambles, here are brambles. Brambles just means a thicket really, but it's these blackberries, they're done for the year, so they've done their job. There's nothing left to eat. So that's what happens at winter though. The availability of food becomes extremely scarce. So the animals have to be pretty resilient. And look at this. Different types of lichen here, look. Got this fluffy one. I like these ones. They almost remind me of something from you'd get in a fish aquarium, and they feel spongy. They're amazing stuff. And you have this, which is more like sort of, it isn't, but it's similar to like old man's beard and things like that. And you've got moss. So I love the way one dead piece of deadfall has given springing away all this different life. It's amazing. There's all sorts of plants down here actually. I'm going to have a little forage, so I'll put the camera down. Just seen a huge grey heron, and guess what? I missed it. So there you go. I'm pretty good with eyesight and spotting wildlife, especially from a distance, but even I missed it. The problem with herons is, and this was a grey one, they don't like people around because it disturbs the fish, so as soon as they get wind of you, they're off. Fair enough, you know, they're trying to hunt, but I never seem to get them. The worst one is kingfishers. I can never get them. But we'll see what else I can miss on this walk. So let's continue. here we go, look. It's nearly winter time and here's one of my favourite plants. Holly. Obviously if you're going to pick it, be careful, you need to pick it in a certain way like that. So keep your thumb in the middle because these are very, very sharp. But there you go, holly. I can't see any of the red berries on it yet, but they will come out. We've probably got another month before they appear, but beautiful. Really, really like it. It's an evergreen, so it's always green all the time. Always looks dead healthy, even in the bleak winter. I mean, look, all the leaves are off everything else. Look at them all over the floor. Look what I've spotted. What a find. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that may be hoof fungus. Certainly feels like it, but it may not be ready. But look at that. Plate fungus, well that's the type anyway, but the actual species is probably horsehoof, but I cannot tell. It's not hard enough to let me check that, but look at that tree, it's covered in them. So obviously that tree's dying, or that section anyway is dying, which has allowed them to colonise. The bottom part looks like horsehoof. It certainly feels like it's hardening up, so if it is, excellent tinder once you whack this rubbish off the outside. Great stuff. So I've spotted quite a few things today. I mean, I'm not going to be able to walk too far today because the problem is when you're in a little valley like this, you've got this valley, you've got the sun there, so look, we've got less than an hour of sunlight before it hits that ridge. Now, that ridge isn't going to be this high all the way along, obviously, but I need to bear that in mind because then you get a dramatic drop. And that's the problem with this time of year, the sun just isn't hanging about, put it that way. But I love this time of year for the colours. These leaves are fantastic. You can hear all the little birds. And I've never seen anyone today. Haven't even seen anyone walking their dog, which is lovely. I feel like I'm hundreds of miles away from people. I'm not, but that's what it certainly feels like. Right, I'm getting close to, well, if I keep going, Hertford Bank, which is near Plessy Woods, but I need to sort of veer off towards Cramlington. But I've still never seen anyone. Just birds tweeting and nothing else. Beautiful area. So I'll keep going until I hit like Hertford Bank, and then I need to go a little bit further down the River Blyth, then try and get over to the field where I think this windmill is. It better be good because this has been a long walk, but a nice one. I've seen plate fungus, I've seen 2 herons, I've seen ducks. I saw a fish, but I wasn't quick enough to get the camera there. But look, just bird song. What an area. And those leaves, look at them, look at the colours. They're almost golden. Very nice. So I can recommend this already. I'll do a summing up at the end there, but so far I really like it. No people, peace and quiet, lovely. Aha! Nice to see someone's done a bit of bushcrafting. Pretty straightforward, sort of both sides leaning in, but nice to see people out and practicing their skills. I like that. Obviously you need to thatch that with something, but not bad. And there's your cross sections. You can kind of like, I can't really show you, but I need some pine really, but if you get the, let's have a look. If I was to take this off, for example, you can kind of feed it in. See the way you've got these wires that naturally go down, you just put one through and the rest naturally fall. You don't have to weave it all in like some sort of master basket maker. But yeah, good starting point. Finally, I've made it. I had to cross a field, but I got here, and I hope you can hear me because of the heavy wind. But obviously it's a wind, you know, it's a windmill. It's going to be put in a place where you're going to get a lot of wind, so you've got a lot of open ground where the wind's going to attack it. But it's fantastic. 1749 it says above the door. Absolutely incredible. And it's still here. Obviously there would have been a section up there, you see, with the workings on, and then that's incredible though. But what I find fascinating is, in this same area, you've obviously got this ruin of a windmill, but you've got the wind turbine outside there, which is the modern equivalent of getting the wind to do the work for you. So not a lot's changed. The methods of how we extract that free energy are just changed. You know, everything's still the same. Same with solar, and you know, we're just copying what leaves do. But look at that shot out there, isn't that amazing? What a view of Northumberland. So I'm quite pleased to have found this, but it's quite a hike back. It's taken me probably an hour and a half-ish to get here, but fantastic. So it's amazing, and I'm glad to see there's no graffiti for once. There's some bird crap up there, but you know, that's natural, I don't mind. You can use that as fertiliser, but this is beautiful. So I'm going to have a look around, maybe just do a few little cheeky time lapses, and then I'm going to have to head back, because obviously the sun's going to start getting lower. As you can see out there, it's still sunny, but you know, we've got limited light left this time of year. Incredible. Wow, right, I'm back. That was windy, but you know, I did go to find a windmill, so you've got to expect a bit of wind. I really enjoyed that. Very desolate. Eventually I saw one guy who was out walking, but he was too fast for me, he was off. And a runner in the distance. And that was it. I mean, there was nobody out, which I like. So I'm trying hard to move my lips here because my face is a bit numb. It got very cold later on there. So I'm going to quickly give this a mark out of 10 and talk about it. So I started at really outside of Bedlington. I worked my way along the River Blyth. Beautiful, lovely. I saw herons, ducks, you name it. I loved the colours there. The colours were absolutely fantastic. And then eventually, I kind of, by checking Google Maps, I was able to get over some fields and some public right-of-way and get to the windmill eventually. So got there and loved it. It was very interesting. You had this windmill from, I think it was 1749 off the top of my head. Still there. And then across the road was a modern turbine. It was like to the right. Very, very interesting that you'd have like the modern equivalent really there. So that was nice to see. And then I worked my way back. I was much quicker coming back there because obviously I knew which route to take and I wasn't making silly crossings and things like that. So loved it, really nice. The whole area is quite big, so there's scope for more. If you want to go further, you can. But I did about 7-ish miles. I didn't put my thing on all the time, so it's probably going to come up with 6.5, 7, but it was probably 7.5 miles. So, but great. You don't mind when you've got nice things to see and fresh air and have you. And it's getting that time of year where it's getting cold, so my hands are slowing down. I can feel it takes longer to get them working again, but I don't mind the winter. I'm quite strange when it comes to the cold. I feel it more as a pain than any other sensation. I just ignore it, whereas other people are shivering away, and who knows how. I think it's probably because I've got Scottish blood in my ancestry, where it's freezing all the time. Anyway, right, marks out of 10. I'm going to give this 7.5 because quiet, scope for more, interesting. You've got just loads of interesting things. I really enjoyed it. Nice and quiet. I'd probably come back in the summer and do different routes and maybe just head up towards Plessy Woods and things like that because it was very interesting. So highly recommended. 7.5. I loved it. I would come back again. In fact, I would probably trail run some of it. Some sections I wouldn't because you're likely to go flying off it at the River Blyth, but very interesting. So I'm going to have to do it. Get out. I've got out, so come on, you have a shot. Go out, take a video and share it. You know, I'm not one of these people who sits here going, I want to subscribe and I want to like, and you think, well, that's up to the person watching. You shouldn't be telling them what to do. But the one thing I do ask you to do is go outside and enjoy nature. There's nothing wrong with that, is there? So go outside, enjoy nature, take some pics and share them. There you go. It makes the world a better place. Right, I'm off. Whee!